Then I'm going back to a midpoint, and I'm going back down to a minimum. And now from this minimum, I'm going to a midpoint. Now from a midpoint, I really only have one option to go. Why? Why do I only have one option to go? Because look at the pattern. It's going up. I can't now go back down to the middle because that's going to look weird. My graph is going to look off. So I know I have to go to a maximum point now. Now from a maximum point, I only have one choice. I can really only go to the middle line because for me to go straight down to minimum, I'm skipping a point. So from a maximum value, I have to go to a middle value. And from a middle value, I have a choice. I can either go to a maximum or minimum. But remember, there's a pattern. So I know I'm going down, so I have to go back down. And now the next point, I know I'm at my minimum point. And remember, whenever you're at a minimum point, the next point has to be a middle line because I can't just skip. And then when I'm at a middle point, now I have a choice. From here, I can either go up or down. It can't go back to the middle. It doesn't make any sense. And I know that since the pattern is going up, I got to go back to a maximum now, and it's going to go up here. And now from this maximum, I have to go to a middle point. So I know it has to be here. And that is how you graph from 0 to 360. No, I actually didn't graph this point here. Moving to the left. Remember, same thing. I'm starting off at a minimum, and I'm going towards the left. Whenever I'm at a minimum, the next point has to be a middle point. It has to be a middle point. Now the pattern is going up, right? I'm going up. So from the midpoint, find my next x value, which is here. I have to be at a maximum. Then find my next value, which is here. From a maximum, I have to be at a minimum. From a maximum, I have to go to the middle line. I apologize, middle line. And then from a middle, I'm going down. So clearly, my next x value is here. And my y value is a minimum. And then when I'm at a minimum, my next value has to be a middle. And then my next value has to be a maximum. My next value has to be a middle. My next value here, which is my x. The only mistake here the students make is they don't space out their x values properly. So this is why it's very important to draw your scale correctly and go up by the exact same points. So you don't make that mistake. So here, my x value here is here, and then from a middle, I gotta go to a minimum because the pattern is going down. And from a minimum, I only have one choice. It has to be to the center line. And from a center line, since my pattern is going up, I gotta go to a maximum. And then here, gotta go to a middle. Here, gotta go to the minimum. Back to middle. And that is how you can graph a periodic function by only starting off with 5 points and following the pattern of maximum, middle, minimum, middle, maximum, or so on. Or if you're not comfortable with that, just draw your table of values. Just extend your table of values and follow the pattern using table of values. So there's 2 techniques you can do to graph this, but remember the initial points always have to be given by mapping notation. You always have to start with mapping notation. All right, we only have 10 minutes left, and there's a lot of stuff to do. So I'm going to go straight to some word problems. I highly recommend watching these review videos. Very good review videos. Watch all the videos for every lesson. Trust me, there's a lot of good resources there for you. I made, the time and effort to post this and make it nice and organized. So try, to actually, do it. All right, we only have time enough for one word problem. I don't like these word problems at all. They suck. So the main type of word problems that you get is a tide problem or a Ferris wheel problem. Those are the 2 types of questions that you usually get in this unit. And I'm going to show you neither one of them because I need to show you how to get the equation of the graph. Damn it. Yeah, I do need to show you that. There's too many things. No, yeah, I can't do that. I gotta show you. Okay, I won't be able to do word problems. I gotta do lesson 4. Yeah, I gotta do this. This is important. The word problems, you're gonna have to watch the videos. The videos are really good. I do recommend them. So let's do this. So in this lesson section, whatever you call it, we are now going. In the previous lesson, you were given an equation, and you took that equation, and then we graphed it. Now we're kind of doing the reverse. We are now given a graph, and we have to now produce an equation for that graph. So how do I do that? The very first step is to always write your maximum value. What is my maximum value here? It's there, which is a 3. So my maximum value is 3. The second step is to always write your minimum value. What is my minimum value? It's there. And it's -1. And you can see that minimum values don't change, maximum values don't change, because it's a periodic function. All right, we got our max, we got our min. Now we figure out our C value and our A value. My C value, here's the new equation. C value is max plus min divided by 2. Very simple. So my maximum value is 3. My minimum value is -1. I add them together and divide by 2. 3 minus 1 is 2. 2 over 2 is 1. My C value is 1. What's my A value? My A value is equal to max minus min divided by 2. That's obviously 3 minus 1 over 2, which is 4 over 2, which is 2. My A value is 2. So off the bat, we've already figured out 2 of the 4 transformations. We have figured out our A value and our C value. Next, we figure out is the K value. How do we figure out a K value? We have to figure out the period from the graph. So there's 3 main ways to figure out a period from the graph. You first take a look at your maximum point and take a look at the x value. Then you find the next maximum point and take a look at the x value. Then you subtract the x values, and that is your period. Your period is 10 seconds. That means every 10 seconds, this function is repeating, which is true. It is repeating every 10 seconds. Another value you can take a look at is your minimum. Minimum to minimum. So this is 10, this is 20. Halfway between 10 and 20 is 15. So this is obviously at 15 seconds. 20, 30, halfway between 20 and 30 is 25. So we know that this is at 25, and the distance or the difference between 25 and 10 is 10 seconds. So we know that this period is also 10 seconds, which it should be, because the period shouldn't be changing for the same, function or graph. And the final, sorry, there's one more way. So the next value, remember what I said? Whenever you figure out your C value, the very first thing you should do is graph your C value. What is my C value? It is 1. So at 1, I want you to put a nice dotted line there. Why? Because sometimes the maximum and minimum values aren't exactly on a point. But your middle points are exactly on a point. See, your middle points are exactly on a point. And sometimes your max and min, in this case, my max and min are on a point because it's an easy example, but I just want to show you because we don't have time to do another example. So everything's going to be crammed into this one. So this middle point is exactly this dashed line. Now, how do I figure out what's that dash? Like each line, what does it represent? Does it represent 2s, 1s, 3s? What am I going up by? Well, let's see. I'm going up by, I don't know. I just don't know. But I do know that I have 1, 2, 3, 4, space